Alrighty guys, how's it going? You're back once again with your host, the Duke's Brew. So today, I'll be working on a Swagtron EB7 electric bike. Recently I bought this and I've been really enjoying it. It's quite a good bike. I'm about to reach about 200 miles on it. Only problem is I have experienced quite a number of flats. I believe about 4 of them, and I searched everywhere for videos on how to be able to fix it or replace it, or just simply take off the wheel to be able to get the tubes or tires mounted or swapped out. Unfortunately, that was unsuccessful because there's pretty much nothing online or anywhere, nor does the manufacturer provide any kind of details or anything for you to be able to do it. If you do get a flat, they recommend sending the entire bike back to them so that they can handle the flat repair and so on, which to me that's really not practical. Sending a pretty heavy bike, shipping and handling is probably going to cost maybe half the amount of the bike or so. Let's see, I do apologize for the noise out in the background. I'm outside right now. So here we are in the video. I'll try to give you guys instructions as we go on. So the lug nut that I'm pointing at right now in the video is the one that you're going to want to remove. The one that I'm shaking my finger to is the one you do not want to touch. So any of those bolts that I'm saying no to, again, you do not want to mess with those ones. If I point it to the bolt, those are the ones that you will want to remove. Right now I'm just showing you the comparison to the tires that I put on to the ones that were on. Let's see, right here coming up, it's just going to be the same thing, just showing you guys the tires that I mounted on. Again, nothing special, just some good thorn resistant tires. So let's see, right here, so right now we're going to be working on the rear wheel, which is usually the one that I've seen most people have problems with. Right now I have already removed the lug nuts, and you can see right there dangling at the end of the wire. It's really not difficult at all. I believe it's an 18 millimeter. That is the size of the nut. Alright, so right now I'll be pointing at the bolt that, well, it's not on there, but the one that you will need to remove. Removing that, and the screws that I will put you pointing at, not those ones. Those ones are the ones you do not want to touch. Do not take those ones off. The other one, you can see the lug nut is already taken off on this side as well. These bolts right here that retain this piece of the brake, these are the ones that you will want to remove so that you can freely take out the wheel from the frame. And it's just 2 bolts holding it together, and you can see how it goes on and comes off. It's really easy, it's not difficult at all. So again, you'll have to remove that if you want to actually take off the tire from the frame itself. And you can see here, after it did that and took off the lug nuts, or the nuts, the tire came off freely, no problem. Besides that, make sure you do disconnect the wire from underneath the frame, the one that it's attached to on the wheel, because it does not disconnect from the wheel itself. You will have to unplug it from the frame where you can see straight ahead. It's not difficult, but remember, you will need to do that to be able to take the tire off. Right here I'm just showing you guys the tire, and it pretty much with the tube and everything ready to go. There's the wire that I was talking about. You'll have to disconnect. Let's see, here in a second I should be pretty much going back to mounting it. Alright, so right now we're gonna mount it. You can see nothing's on there yet. that little piece that I'm pointing at, you want to make sure that goes inside of the frame, not on the outside. That goes on the inside. And that's the piece that I was talking about earlier, where you will disconnect the wire from. Over here, I messed up the first time, and I did not put in the washer or retainer piece. I pretty much just call it a washer. And I did not put it on right here on this side of the bike. As you can see, this side has that piece that's right on the inside, but on the other side, the right side, I did not put it on. Later in the video, you'll see that I did go back and I put it back on, and I pointed out in the video so that people who are working on it don't end up making the same mistake as I did. You can see now, pretty much that's really it when it comes to mounting the tire back on. At least getting it on there before you tighten and put all the screws back. Here is the piece I was talking to you guys, the screws that I was talking to you guys that you're going to want to remove to be able to actually remove the tire from the frame. I left the screws on there so I wouldn't lose them. I'm just taking them off now so I can replace the piece back on there. I tried doing this with one hand to show you guys, but it's really quite difficult, so I ended up having to put the camera down and just doing it with two hands. You can see though that I'm showing you guys exactly how you're going to want to mount it, just so, it's pretty much common sense, but you're going to want to make sure to put it within the brake disc, otherwise, your brakes won't work. And here I'll be putting in the screws as well so that you guys can see. I'm just trying to line it up for you guys to be able to see where the screws go, in other words. And that's pretty much lined up right there. Alright, so you can see I got one of the screws now. Just a heads up, you are going to want to make sure you split those washers. Don't put them all on one side. You need to put one, as you can see, just pretty much how I'm showing you in the video. Some there, two of them there, and the other two right in the center, like in the middle, And that's because that's the way you're going to want to put it on. That's the way it came off, as I remember at least. So do not forget to do that. Yeah, that is pretty important, I'm sure. Otherwise, they wouldn't have it that method, or that type of way, I guess. Right now is what I was saying earlier, that I put this washer on the wrong side, or I forgot to put it on the inside. That is where you're going to want to put it, where I had pointed. I'm saying no to where I had installed it, which was on the outside. You don't want to do that. So again, I'm just going to be showing you guys what not to do, and where I point at it is where, so that's where you don't want to put it. And that right there is where you're going to want to install, but you just have to take the wheel out and install it first, and then you can put the wheel back in to be able to do it. It's really not difficult. You can see right here I already got it done. You can see the washers in there nice and snug. You're going to want to install it that method, or that way. And let's see, this whole process is really easy. I just did take my time because I wanted to make sure everything went as smoothly as possible. After that, I'm pretty sure this little piece right here I never took off because it came off with it, but I did just go ahead and get it in place and tightened it slightly, not too much, that way I can still have a little bit of play for the rim in case I need to straighten it out. I do want to say, do not try to tighten your chain like by setting your rim back. I did that, and it was just really difficult, because on pedal assist, whenever I was trying to go up a hill, it was really difficult to pedal. I switched it back, and it's fairly loose now, but man, it is much easier. And trust me, you do not want to tighten your chain. It is not a good idea. At least it wasn't for me. It's everyone's own choice, but at least for me, it was just a nightmare. It was not good. I had to get it fixed immediately. From here, you can see I'm just tightening the lug nuts, getting it all back on there. From there, you're pretty much good to go. I haven't installed the chain back on, and I usually wait for that at the very end. Once everything's tightened up, here's the connection you're going to want to connect back that you had removed, or at least I did, to be able to get the tire actually off of the frame. Otherwise it will not come off. It's going to be attached to that still. I'll be showing you guys where you can hook it up, or where it's the designated area to hook up, and there are the points. Again, that's the piece you'll hook it up to, and these are the other 2 points where you'll wrap the cable. And it's pretty much common sense on how to wrap them. Just go within the hook, put the wire underneath the hooks. And that was pretty much it, guys. Right here you can see the result, everything, how it looks after. Wasn't too difficult, but those of you who did get any kind of help for this, please do let me know down below. I hope I was detailed as much as possible. I know it wasn't the greatest video. I tried my best, but I was kind of tired at that point and just frustrated. But I was really wanting to try to put a video for people who have this bike who want to try to swap the tires, because I noticed nobody has any kind of information like that for this online whatsoever, and Swagtron does not provide anything. Therefore, I wanted to put something at least for somebody or people to work off of in case they want to do it themselves. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. If you like the video, please leave a like, and please leave any comments down below, whatever you guys want to know or say. And you guys have a good day.